Hi, everyone, and welcome. I hope everybody is having a great day today. I'm Jamie from the Know team, and we are back for another webinar. In the Know webinars, we do hope to help e-commerce brands learn best practices and explore new strategies and concepts. So just a couple things before we dive in. We did start this webinar series back in August. So if you haven't had a chance to check out our previous webinars, you can do so on our YouTube channel. We have a great lineup there for you all. And then also I will be sending a follow-up email that will include today's recorded version of this webinar. Also, if there's any questions that come in, please feel free to save those for the end and we can ask our speaker directly. And if you do have any questions about Know or your account, or you're looking to sign up, you can always email us directly at hello@knowcommerce.com. And diving right into today's speaker, I would like to introduce Jordan West. Jordan is an entrepreneur, and he is currently the co-owner of Little and Lively Clothing, and he will have to let me know if I got this right, but I believe that is one of the top 10 baby brands in Canada. So he is also the founder and CEO of Upgrowth Commerce, formerly known as Mindful Marketing. And I really am excited that he is here today to chat through some tried and tested methods for making your customers feel like VIPs. So Jordan, with that, I am going to pass it over to you.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much for having me here, Jamie. I'm really looking forward to chatting and hopefully adding some huge value for people listening to this. I know that my team at Upgrowth Commerce absolutely loves these webinars. And so I was super happy that I got to be on this webinar series. So I'm really looking forward to this today. So I am going to share some slides here with everyone. So just give me one sec here, guys. We are going to present here. All right, awesome. So what we're going to be talking about today. First of all, I want to tell you guys the Kindred story, right? So from at-home startup, and this is, guys, this is a real at-home startup. You know, we used to have stuff all in our, everywhere in our house. Our house was essentially a clothing warehouse for at least a year or two. We're going to talk a little bit about the problem that most people have with ads and how it doesn't deliver that VIP experience, right? That's a huge thing. That most people's the way that they get people into their funnel does not create that VIP experience. And also, even using the word funnel feels a little bit funny for me because I actually don't love that term. We're not trying to trick people, right, to become VIPs and brand advocates. We're actually trying to ascend them to, in a relational sort of sense. And so we're going to be talking about that today as well. And then we are also going to be talking about the solution to all of that. So let me tell you a little bit about myself, just in case you're like, oh, I don't know, this guy looks a little bit sketchy. I don't know, hair looks a little scraggly. Why should you trust me? Well, we have worked with, or I personally have worked with over 200 e-com businesses over the last 5 years, anywhere from startups to $25 million plus companies, also running multiple stores of our own. So we own now 7 different brands. I was trying to count. We just acquired one last week as well. So this slide deck obviously is a little bit older, and I forgot to update the 5 to 7. So we know what we're doing when it comes to e-com. 2022 came around, and all of our brands are still incredibly profitable, and that cannot be said for a lot of people out there. And so hopefully I'm going to be giving you guys some solutions to that. Here's a little bit more about a few of the brands that we own. This is the Kindred Studio. This is our Canadian clothing company. We've actually since added to this as well with Beck and Jet. So another great brand that's inside of there. I also host a podcast that's almost on episode 400. And the awesome people over at Know Commerce have been sponsors. And Jeremiah, the founder, has also come on and talked, I think actually a couple of times now. And absolutely love Jeremiah. Just a great guy, and we love the guys over at Know Commerce, and that's the main reason that I'm doing this, because I like these guys so much and all the people who follow them. So we've been just absolutely going for it there, and hopefully adding a lot of value. And so we've got thousands of listeners, and maybe you'll be one of them one day. All right. Here is just a little bit about what the kind of results that we're able to get because we create these VIP experiences for our customers, right? So we're seeing here an overall return on ad spend of 7.51. This was post iOS 14.5, people. So just so you know, this is not the good old days. This is post iOS 14.5. So still seeing some great numbers and still continuing to get ad spend up. All right. So from at home startup to multiple seven figures, let's talk about the problem, the huge problem that I see with brands these days. And the issue, actually, I shouldn't even say brands. I think the problem that I see for the most part is these are not brands. These are products people are trying to sell, just single products that don't really have this unifying voice of a brand. And I think that VIP experiences and VIP groups and ambassador programs and all of these things can really help actually create a brand and not just a product brand, right? That's the big problem that I see with Amazon sellers is they're really good at selling products, really good at features and benefits, right? You go onto an A+ listing on Amazon, you're like, whoa, I can see all these features, benefits. This is incredible. That is not brand, right? That's product. So common mistakes that we see is this sort of spray and pray marketing approach. A lot of people do it because they might get some marketing budget. They're like, oh, awesome. We have $30,000 to spend. Oh, sorry. Let's go back here. We have $30,000 to spend this month. Let's just go ahead and put it out there. And all marketing is good marketing, right? Don't do that. Also, do not treat all of your customers the same, right? How can you create a VIP experience if you're treating all of your customers the same? It just doesn't work, right? If you're talking to your people who have never heard about you, right? This awareness group or people that you're trying to get aware, the same way that you're talking to your VIPs, no one's going to feel special. Right. And that's something that I think a lot of brands don't quite understand yet. And I really want to make sure that you guys get that. So every customer is in a unique stage of relationship with your brand. Don't treat them all the same. You're really disrespecting them by talking to them the same way. So create communities to treat them differently. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a second here. All right. So just remember, customers need to be segmented into different traffic levels. Now, we're not just talking about ads here. I know I used ads as an example, but this is your email. This is your SMS. How in the world are you going to segment these people, right? So based on maybe purchases, maybe based on the amount of affinity that they have with your brand. The way that we like to segment people is we like them to segment themselves, right? We like them to segment themselves into groups. And so we have multiple groups. Let's talk Kindred, for example. So we first got our email list, right? And so email, I would never call a VIP group, right? Email is just a one-to-many channel where we just let people know about products. And yes, we can have a lot of really good conversational emails. And I think there's a lot of great ways to do that, but I would never consider email a VIP channel. Email is email. Now we've got SMS next. We like to group our SMS subscribers together with our VIP group. We like to house our VIP groups on Facebook. The reason being is that, for the next, I don't know how long, but for the next, quite a while, Facebook is going to prioritize groups. They have for years, and they continually are going to prioritize groups. They're doubling down on it with neighborhoods and all of these things that are really trying to get people to connect around a certain cause. So I highly recommend, starting that VIP community on Facebook. I think that that's really, really important. And then there's that next ascension into an ambassador group, right? And that's your absolute super fans and giving them a reason to be an advocate for your brand. All right. Just remember, purchasers are getting spoken to a little bit differently than cold audiences. And we're going to be talking in 1 second here in the next slide. I'm going to be walking you through all of these different traffic levels and how you can turn essentially cold customers into your brand advocates, right? You cannot do it overnight. That's one thing I want to let you guys know. All right, let's talk about this basic framework for, we'll call it a funnel. I like flywheel is a little bit better, just this brand framework of being able to move people from literally not knowing anything about you into a purchase. So these are levels 1 through 5. And I'm sure you guys have heard this before, but just wait 1 second and hear me out, because I think this is really foundational. So level 1, they have never heard or engaged with your brand before, right? So these are people who know absolutely nothing about you. Level 2, they've engaged with your brand in a small sort of way, like they've viewed on, they viewed one of your videos, they've commented on your Facebook page, they maybe clicked on one of your ads. Now, level 3, they've engaged with you and they've shown interest in your product. So they've gone to a product page now, right? So they've gone to your website, they've looked around, but they haven't added to cart yet, right? They haven't had that conversation yet with their spouse of being like, hey, look, I'm thinking about making this $200 clothing purchase. What do you think, right? That's getting them into level 4, where they really are considering buying it. They've added to cart. They've maybe even initiated checkout. They just haven't purchased. And then level 5, they've actually purchased and become a customer, right? So this is where most people stop, right? This is where most brands are like, awesome. Okay, we have a customer. Wonderful. On to the next one, right? The problem is the majority of the money is made after level 5, right? But we don't do anything after level 5 for the most part. So let me talk about that. So level 6 is ascending and exciting, right? So this is getting them to make that second purchase. For me, level 6 is really getting them into a VIP group together. Now, remember when I talked about VIP groups, we're not talking about getting them onto your email list, right? Like we talked about before. We're getting them to get into a group where they can talk to each other. That's the biggest thing with community, right? So community has to involve them talking to each other, your customers being able to actually even say bad things about you in there, right? The beautiful thing in these VIP groups is anytime that there is a complaint, there'll be 30 or 40 people that will hop on that complainant and tell them, no, this company's incredible. They'll do anything to make you happy. Just go ahead and talk to them. So we love to leave those posts up in the VIP group. So that's really getting them into, so level 6, thinking about that, getting them into a VIP community or little bubble, right? Where they can talk about your brand, where they can ask questions about your brand, where they can see, oh, I see other people just like me in this group. That's really interesting. I'm in the right place, right? Customers want to see themselves in your products, on your website, in your VIP group. They want to be like, oh, am I welcome here? Is this the kind of place for me? So level 6, get them into this group, right? Now, level 7 is where they start to actually advocate for you. So these are the kinds of people who will go on those posts and say, no, their customer service is incredible. When somebody says something bad, they're like, no, these guys, these are my friends. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you how wonderful they are. Now, level 8 is where they actually promote for you. Now, the problem is most brands don't do level 8, right? If they have an ambassador program, a lot of times they're actually trying to get people from level 1 straight into level 8. Hey, we'll pay you 10% of sales to promote our product. Well, they may not know anything about your product. And they're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll sign up for an affiliate deal. That is not what excites people, right? They have to move through the levels. Now, I think that there are places where it makes sense to pay for posts and to pay affiliate commissions for people who have big audiences. But if you're building a big brand, really people need to go through every single one of these levels, and it can take a while. It's not overnight, right? We're so used to, putting an ad up there and hoping somebody clicks and converts right away. That is not what we're talking about here. So we're talking about ascending people into this level 8. And so that's where we create an ambassador program. So we have at all of our brands, we have ambassador programs for those people who have made it to level 8. Now they self-select, right? They have to go through quite an application process. And generally about 30% of the people we actually don't let into the group because they don't meet the group requirements. But from there, those people actually do the promotion for you and then create an even higher VIP experience. And so for these people, we're throwing events for them, right? We're throwing special events where, they can come and have wine and cheese and a night without their kids there. We're doing all sorts of things to make them feel like even more elite, right? So the more elite that you can make someone feel, and the more part of a community that they really resonate with, the better. So highly, highly recommend that you guys look into this framework, that you think about, what your brand is doing to create that VIP experience and how you can create even more VIP experiences with your brands. So let's go over, because I mention no commerce all the time when I'm talking about this kind of stuff. How do you know whether you're being effective or not? And how do you know how much getting people into level 6, 7, and 8 is actually doing for your brand? Well, when you ask them the simple question in a no commerce survey at the end of after they've purchased, where did you hear about us? Make sure you have word of mouth or friends and family in there. For us in this brand, it's 50% of the time people are finding out about us from friends and family, right? So we want to do everything we can. When we see that kind of data, we're like, okay, we've got to pour gasoline on that fire. So does that mean more Facebook ads? Probably not. What that means is getting more word of mouth. And so how do we do that? We create the ambassador program and we get people to talk about us, right? We try and spark conversation. So we try to create interesting things for people to talk about with our brand. And so that's going from anyway, there's a bunch of back end ideas that I don't necessarily want to get out there yet, but hopefully you guys are getting an idea of what we're talking about. All right, I've got a question here. So if a smaller brand, if I'm a smaller brand and cannot necessarily afford to pay for our customers to promote, how can we still attempt to engage some of our customers in the upper levels, but in particularly a level 8? So actually, guys, we don't pay them. We only give them a discount. So we give them a 10% discount code that they can use that they can give to friends and family. And then we give them a 30% discount to be an ambassador. So the only thing that they get out of being an ambassador is like these fun events. They get free samples. Often we'll send them out to make videos. But we do not give them anything to do with money. Now, the reason why we don't make this, that we're not giving them like a 10% affiliate commission, is because I think that changes. Sorry, when I say I think, it changes the relationship, right? Immediately, you've now made it a transactional relationship rather than the outflowing of the relationship you've already built, where they just want to promote you and they just want to be a part of something really cool. So you do not have to pay these customers, but you do have to pay in time, right? That's one thing that you do have to do. You have to nurture these relationships in the VIP group to get them to self-select to become part of the ambassador group. Now, another person asked a great question that I'm going to answer right now as well. So how do you look at the return on investment on things like events for those promoters? Are you just using word of mouth attribution to provide value? Yes. Or to prove value? Yes, exactly. That's exactly what we're doing. So keeping that word of mouth very stable is great. We also use just like a rough CPM calculation, so cost per 1,000 impressions calculation when people post. And so we can get a rough idea of the return that we're getting from a CPM standpoint. So if somebody has, let's say 10,000 followers, and they post, we know that that's probably getting to about 2,000 people. We can say, at a $10 CPM, maybe $15 CPM, that's worth anywhere from $20 to $30 for us. So we know that these things are worthwhile, and we know that there is the value there, especially in the from the event and just posting about the event and them having that word of mouth with their friends there. So that's a bit of a harder one to really prove out. But we think that it's worthwhile either way to keep our ambassadors engaged. So great questions, guys. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask them. Love answering questions like this. So I will take a look here. All right, let's talk about what is the point. So remember, the end goal is to always move people down the funnel. Instead of down the funnel, let's change that a little bit, because I've really changed my thoughts on the way that we talk about this, right? And it's more moving people into your retargeting audiences. It's creating a deeper relationship with your brand. And really the ultimate is the ultimate way that is if you ever raise capital in a community round and you see how much people want to invest in your company. And we're doing that at this company right now. And that it's incredible to see our community come together and really want to be a part and a co-owner of the company. I really truly believe that every single brand out there is going to want to raise a community round at some point, because it just makes so much sense. It's almost like getting to level 9, you know, it's like 8+ for them to actually be a part of your ownership. So, you know, before we're talking about just like the way to get them into your retargeting audiences, that and that's better. Really, it's all about in the end getting people into levels 6, 7, and 8. And so you got to do the hard work on levels 1 through 5. You really do. You got to do that hard work to make them become a purchaser. But at that point, that's when the fun community aspect starts, and getting them into that VIP group is absolutely essential for that. Now, I want to talk about something else that's not on the slides here, and that's a way that we get people into our VIP group. And so one thing that we have done for a long time is we send a personalized video to every single new customer that comes in. So at first we were trying to get our staff to do it. So, you know, somebody would come on and be like, hey, it's Jordan from the Kindred Studio. We just wanted to say thanks so much for making your first purchase. You're going to absolutely love this pair of leggings. Please let us know if you have any questions at all. In the meantime, we'd love for you to join our VIP community. Just click the link below and join, and you'll find a lot of people just like you in there, and you can ask any of the questions. We have huge uptake on people joining the VIP community that way. So we use a service called Bonjoro. Those guys are awesome. They have integrations with Google Google with Shopify. I'm sure they've got some Google integration too, but with Shopify. One other thing I want to talk about here is, this is something really simple that really any size brand can do, because you can retarget for as little as $1 a day. So a retargeting technique that we love to use for first-time visitors, we hit them with a brand story retargeting campaign. Now that's both on YouTube and on Facebook. I love it on YouTube because you can actually create video sequences, right? So if you have a bunch of About Us videos, which we do, we've got them from all over the years, hitting brand new customers with this special video targeting sequence can be absolutely incredible to getting them to learn more about your brand. So this is moving people just from level 1 to level 2, right? Or level 2 to 3. So something that I highly recommend all brands do. Even if, guys, if you're a SaaS company out there listening, this is a really, really great way to do it in your retargeting funnel. So let me just see here. Now I've got another question. I'm kind of bouncing around today, guys. Hopefully everyone's okay with that. Here is another question that we have. Do you find that building VIP experiences and communities is more successful with certain demographics, like male versus female versus non-binary, or income levels, or age and generation? That is such a good question. That is such a good question. So in my experience, there is one massive factor, and that is gathering people around a certain cause. So we own another brand down in Mesa, Arizona, and I say down because I'm right near Vancouver, British Columbia. So we own another brand down there that is called Keep Nature Wild, and we've got a whole VIP group of people called the Wild Keepers, and they actually go out and pick up trash. And so that VIP group is built all around keeping trails clean. It's people who are super passionate about the outdoors. When they go out there, they get really upset when they see plastic water bottles all over the trail, or whatever it is, just garbage out there. And so their whole existence is built around that. And so I don't think that every brand can build a VIP community just around their brand. Right? That can happen, but I think that that's sometimes a special case, right? So you want to think about, who are your customers, right? Not who's your avatar, right? Who are your customers? Who are they actually? And so a really great way to do that, and I know I'm making another no commerce plug here, but immediately I'm like, okay, well, how would people find out who their customers are? Do a survey, right? You will be incredibly surprised at how many people want to fill the survey out. We recently did one that was like 35 questions long, and we had 1,000 people fill this out. Well, that gave us a really good idea of who our actual customer is. And so just trying to think, sorry, with the question here. So thinking about who your customer is and building the VIP experience around that customer. I want to tell you guys a funny story. We did a warehouse sale, an in-person warehouse sale recently, huge success. Easily hit six figures in person. People came out from all over, from hours away, to shop this experience. Now, one thing that we did and that people commented on was that we had childcare. They absolutely loved that. So they were able to come bring their kids and then shop the experience, right? So we know that the majority of our customers are younger moms. And so we want to cater to them. Now, we tried to put on another experience, and this was a wine tasting night at 7 o'clock with no childcare. And we virtually had no one sign up for this experience. And it totally makes sense. So afterwards, when we were doing the postmortem on why this didn't work, we're like, oh, we weren't doing this for our customers. We thought this was a good idea for us, but it wasn't actually built around our VIP customers who are young moms. A young mom leaving at 7 o'clock on a weeknight is virtually impossible unless they just have like an incredible partner who can do everything. They may not feel comfortable doing that. So we realized, oh, this was the big mistake we made. This was at a time frame that didn't work for them. We didn't have childcare, and it was a really good way for us to realize, oh yeah, this is who our customers are. This is what they care about. So I hope that answers that question for you guys. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to let me know. We've got a couple more things I'm going to talk about here that I just want to make sure to go through. So let me just see here. I hope everyone who's listening is enjoying this here, and I'm not droning on too long. So remember, I'm talking about retargeting audiences here, but really what I'm talking about is anybody who is starting to get interested in your brand, right? How do you move them through these relational cycles? So some of the ways that you can do this is through ads, right? That's a huge way to do this. I really believe that ads are a way to kind of pour gasoline on the fire of what you're already doing. So getting them interested in your brand can really help move them into becoming that VIP. Now, do I think that having a VIP experience for everyone makes sense? Absolutely, but it looks different for everyone, right? Making sure that your brand actually cares is huge, right? Think about the big brands and what they do. Think of like Costco and Walmart, and I know these are not the greatest examples, but what they do with their customers. When Disney, I was just in Disney for the last week and seeing the way that they treat their customers is absolutely phenomenal. One of the biggest things is they just don't say no, right? If you tell them it's your birthday, it's your birthday. They're not asking for your ID, right? They're not, it's, not like when you go to some restaurant who says, birthday people get it for free. Well, you better show your ID, right? They don't do that, right? They trust their customers, and that creates a VIP experience. I mean, think of like Disney is the ultimate VIP experience, right? They make everybody feel like a VIP. When you have that little birthday badge on and you're going around the park, they're like, oh, happy birthday. These are the kinds of experiences that we're trying to create for people. All right. Let's just go through this here. So one thing I really believe in, and is using ads to help get you off the need to use ads, right? This is incredibly, incredibly important. If you look up here and you look at these warm SMS subscribers, this is how we're getting people onto our SMS list, right? Incredibly important. And you can see the return on ad spend on that is great, is 36.61. So $1 in, $36 out. It's because we're sending people into higher levels with our community. We're not just saying, hey, person who doesn't know anything about us, purchase, right? No, we're not saying that. That doesn't work these days, and it will not work in the future. Just wanted to make sure that you guys understood that. So VIP customers, this is how you ascend your customers. So take a look at this. This is a 30-day span here. We're looking at 7,000 active members within the group. At this time, I believe that the group was about 7,500 people big. This is 1,400 comments, 143 posts that didn't come from us during this time, 3,700 reactions during this time. This is how you ascend customers into level 6, 7, and 8. And then we talked about this before, a unique way to make that jump, and that's the personalized videos. So we hired Anne, who is a virtual assistant for us, and she sent out personalized videos to every single person asking them to join the VIP group. Just absolutely massive value for people. And when they realize, like, oh, this person's like saying my name, like this is an actual personalized video. This is a VIP experience, guys. This is how you create these experiences. Now, we talked about this a little bit before, but I just want to make sure to harp on this again. SMS is incredibly important with your VIP group. Seeing this is just a quick 30-day span of SMS. You can see how well this is done, right? Almost $90,000 in sales. We have months that are a lot higher than that with our SMS program. It's incredibly, incredibly important to marry your SMS program with your VIP group. The reason being is that when you post on Facebook, people don't necessarily see it right away, right? So if you are launching, having a gated launch or something, really, really quick, quick sale, a flash sale, your SMS list is incredibly important when it comes to that. All right. Any more questions for you guys? I think that we're going to wrap things up right there. I think that that's enough actionable items for you guys to be able to go away with. Jamie, do you want to take it from here?
Yeah. This was great, Jordan. Thank you so much. And thanks everyone for sending in your questions. It does seem like we did get all of them answered. Jordan, I did want you to let people know where they can find you. I know you have the website here down below. And I know you are active on LinkedIn. So let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you can find me on LinkedIn. Just search Jordan West Marketer on LinkedIn. That's the easiest way to find me. And you can see here, I actually have not updated these slides here. Our agency's website is upgrowthcommerce.com. So if you're looking, anyone who is listening to this, you can go to upgrowthcommerce.com/grow, and we would love to do a free growth plan for you. Guys, this takes about 10 hours of staff time for us to do. So not everyone actually does qualify for one of these, but we'd love to do it for anybody who was on this webinar. So if you go to upgrowthcommerce.com/grow, we'd love to take a look at what you are doing, because not everyone is surviving in 2022. It's really difficult out there, and we're seeing a lot of brands coming in who are just like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive until next month. And some of them we've been able to turn around in big ways. So if that sounds interesting to you, again, upgrowthcommerce.com/grow.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jordan. And for everybody else, just so you know, we do have another webinar coming up tomorrow, and we'll have one next Tuesday as well. So just keep an eye out for these. We will get this one posted up to YouTube soon. And thank you so much to everybody for being here. And thanks so much, Jordan, again. And if you do have any questions about No Commerce, please feel free to reach out to us again at hello@nocommerce.com. So thanks again, everybody. And I hope you have a great day.